How service dogs aid with anxiety by me. Anyways, so how do you say? Imagine being by yourself, worrying over a speech or some sort of maybe a work what's it called, a work interview or something. You're just pretty much being scared, and all of a sudden you see a little four-legged friend like this guy come up to help you, saying it's gonna be okay. Don't worry about it. You're gonna be able to do it. So, anxiety is a problem that we all have to deal with, which is what I'm suffering about right now, honestly. But anyways, how do you say, instead of going for some breathing techniques or whatever, let's just, how do you say, service dogs are a great solution to get rid of anxiety. So in general, coming to Cal State LA, I've seen these service dogs everywhere. And they've actually been helping out with a lot of these people who have actually had problems with anxiety, and I always wondered why. So, how do you say, by learning about these service dogs, I believe we'll be able to know about other alternatives to get rid of anxiety. So, first I will talk about how anxiety affects us, how these service dogs help us with anxiety, and how these service dogs get the certification that they need. So, let's start this. So our first main point. What is anxiety? Well, it is basically when basically when we feel so nervous, we feel scared, in a way we feel like overthinking all these things that we're gonna fail. And we're usually left like this, like, oh God, I'm not gonna be able to do this. Kind of like that. So, according to the WebMD website, accessed on January 11, 2015, well, there was actually, anxiety is the feeling of nervousness that you may feel on certain situations, such as having a speech, maybe a certain work interview, or just having to give something important in your life. So, well, the symptoms of anxiety are like you just feel sweaty palms. How do you say, you just have a stutter, you feel shaky. In some cases, you actually have some increased muscle tension. Now that we have briefly discussed anxiety and what the stresses it causes to your body, let's talk about how these dogs actually help you. See, according to the European Journal of Integrative Medicine published in 2009, there was a study where people who were very anxious for a surgery or in any type of case was conducted. These people were often anxious, scared, and everything else. And there was a difference where there was a dog present, a service dog, such as you see here, and one where there wasn't. And one where there was a service dog, anxiety levels had actually decreased and actually aided in the process of the surgery or any sort of therapy. So, and these dogs help us with anxiety they provide us with companionship, and also according to the website article named How Dogs Help Us with Anxiety, published in 2012 by Rivera Art, they provide companionship, give many daily routine to follow, and they give us a sort of a distraction to get away from the anxiousness that we may feel. So now that we know what anxiety does, let's see how service dogs help us relieve with anxiety. Let us see how they get the certification. So service dogs actually go through a training program where their training is in integrative care to work in partnership with their client or owner, where the client and the dog end up coming together to try to bond and see if they're actually compatible with each other over the course of maybe a one-year program. And within the training, there's a 16-day team training where they build the dog and the client's compatibility. So, what's it called? According to the mental health dog website, accessed on January 29, this training program actually is where they both go. So, after the training, these dogs actually are specialized in how to deal with you, and they actually help you with your panic attacks. They actually help someone to help you in any sort of case, and they also help you deal with the emotional overload one person may feel. They also relieve a person from isolating themselves, from just trying to get away from the anxiousness in some sort of way, and they actually improve your mood. So, how do you say? Now that we went over what certification is, let's get things over with. So, anxiety is a terrible feeling that one may feel before an assignment or before a work interview or any sort of a scary situation that you might feel. it is important for us to know about these service dogs because that way we don't have to rely on drugs or some sort of breathing technique to be able to relieve ourselves from this anxiety. So, I just went over what anxiety is, what service dogs are, and how service dogs get their certification. So remember, if you ever feel anxiety, things are gonna be alright. And if you need a little help from a little four-legged friend, like a dog, then yeah, just go for it. Thank you. And yes, there are service ponies too.